Welcome back to Big East Media Day here on the field of 68, and we are now joined by the actual podcaster here, the host of the Sean Miller podcast.
Hey, he carried the field of 68
I
by
just want to
himself.
know how many.
He carried it by himself.
Finally, I get the acknowledgement I
I've
deserve.
been waiting. I've been waiting for this moment, Sean. Van has been on what, twice, 3 times, 4 times?
No, I know where you're going with this. You're right.
We don't get the invite.
No,
All I
we
got
have to balance it out. You know, you can't be too heavy pointed towards you guys, but no, field of 68 is family to me. And, you know, when we were just out there floating in the desert, Arch and I, my brother, there's only one person that reached out. There was you, Rob. So forever. You know, what's interesting though, as time moves on, Goodman in particular likes to criticize things that happened in that year that I talk too much. And I made a note of that, but my only point is, like, who else was talking? I mean, like, I felt I had to do my fair share of carrying the group. Arch is with me, Goodman's with me. Like, so I tried to fill in.
Hey, there was nobody during your time with the field of 68. Huge Pac-12 guy. I'm happy you had another job because I would have worried about you.
No,
I would have worried about you.
I know. I probably, here's all I would say about that though. It's remarkable that conference doesn't exist.
Well,
I mean, if you guys ever step away and go through the players, the teams, the coaches, and how about other sports? It's just like to go from where they were to like not even having a conference. And I know they're recreating it, but it's almost a dream that happened that can't be true, you know, especially with so many players that I coached that thrived in that league. Like if you look at the Pac-12 Hall of Fame, the Pac-10 Hall of Fame, and like, it's just it's a sad deal. It's one of the things that in this new era of college sports, I think that there's a lot of losers there in the West.
All right, we got to talk about your big guys because obviously Traore is the injuries.
Yeah,
not great, not ideal. But Fremantle's back.
Yep.
Jerome Hunter's back.
Yep.
They're both here. It's it's just awesome to see Jerome out, and I'm sure you enjoy seeing him playing basketball and experience that again. What have you seen from those guys?
Yeah, they've been with us for most of the summer. Zach in particular has been with us from the spring. So, I mean, look, I pray, I hope that both guys can experience their final year at Xavier in the Big East and be healthy from start to finish. In Jerome's case, if not everybody knows his story, he always overcome a heart attack. He's fine, got on the other side of it. And then in his comeback attempt in the middle of the winter a year ago, he tears his Achilles. Oof. So just think about all the different things he's had to overcome and to still be in the fight. I mean, you can imagine how popular he is in our locker room, and he's our heart and soul in a lot of ways. And really not to take away from Zach because he's had a couple season-ending injuries. The last time you guys would have seen him play, think about this, would be at Creighton in 2023.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
In game 23 of that season, you know, that's when he went down. He hasn't played since. We played at Dayton the other day, and just to see him back out there, man, it was awesome to have both guys a part of what we're doing, and now we have to keep them.
I can't imagine the mental part of what Hunter's been through, the heart attack and then the Achilles.
Yeah.
I mean, two like big things. That's tough. But as far as the rest of that front court, a guy that I've always been a big fan of, John Hughley IV, and he came in kind of heavy. Now he's down some weight. How's he been looking?
He's getting better. First, we had to get him into shape. And then, you know, I think we're now trending, and John is, towards being in maybe the best shape that he's been in. And that's when you have that version of him, there's a lot that he can do. He can score. He's got great hands, but very much a work in progress because of his starting point, you know, of just coming at Oklahoma where they shut him down towards the end of the year. And then, you know, the spring, he came in very heavy, but he's put a ton of work in. I'm very optimistic about what he can become, and we need him to be good. You know, unfortunately, I got to talk about another injury in Lassina Traore, who, you know, was, I think, one of the leading rebounders in college basketball. We lost him, unfortunately, for the year. So that injury thing has stayed with us. He had surgery the other day. He'll return back next year, but no doubt we would be deeper and better with him. I don't think it knocks us out like it would have last year when we lost both Zach and Jerome. So we have to reinvent ourselves a little bit, especially with Zach, and be ready to go.
Well, the big thing is, and I'm not, far be it from me to tell you how to coach, but I think that if you want to get better defensively, maybe just call up Arch and figure out how to be able to make teams miss free throws. I don't know if you saw it last year, third in defensive free throw rate.
Rhode Island was?
Yeah, Rhode Island was third nationally in defensive free throw rate.
Is that a luck rating? It's got to be a luck.
I want to know, how come you haven't
That's something
asked it?
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that stayed with. That stat right there might be one
That's
of
a game changer.
No.
That's a
So
two-game
when
swing.
he was in his last year at Indiana and we were together, I think he led the nation
He
in
led the
free
nation,
throw
yeah.
defense, which means
So he did it again.
Yeah. So he's good at it. Like why?
What is it?
Yeah.
I'm going to investigate that.
That's worth investigating.
That is some good information. I appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
Last one I got is we have spent the entire fall hearing about the Ryan Conwell hype train. Is it justified? Is it legit?
You guys have seen him at Indiana State, and it was hard not to be a fan of his or Indiana State a year ago with how good they were, 30-game winner, and their style, right? But Ryan was at the forefront of that style. The thing that jumps out for me in coaching him is he really allows the game to come to him. He has a way of playing the game that, although an elite shooter and scorer, he doesn't force the issue. And quite frankly, he's a very good playmaker as well. I love him. I'm thrilled for him because what he needs is the stage of the Big East. What Quincy Oliveri and Sule Boom.
Man, how good is Quincy?
Both-
He just got a contract, right?
Yeah, both benefited from greatly. I think the same thing will happen for Ryan.
I got to ask about my South Carolina guy. Well, Atlanta turned South Carolina guy, Marcus Foster. He sounds like he's been playing well for you. He started out his career as kind of a defensive guy.
Yeah.
And then over the last 2 seasons, kind of picked his offense up. How's he been looking?
He's been great. He's a starter for us right now. He's been one of our most consistent players from the beginning of the summer until right now. Very mature, as you know, played for an excellent coach, at Furman. And you feel that he knows what to do and how to do it. And that's that experience that we've added. And hopefully that will benefit us in a lot of ways. Defensively, you're right. Part of being a better defensive team is having players who can really defend. And Marcus is both tough and smart.
You look if you want to get better defensively, get better defenders and make teams miss free throws. Is that what it is?
That's it.
The second part is a little, that's perplexing. But the first part, you're exactly right.
It's perplexing. I don't know how you would manage to find a way to do that. Last question for me, kind of a macro outlook of the Big East. There's going to be more seeds in the NCAA tournament. What do you feel this league needs to do during the non-conference in order to kind of raise what's the right word? Raise the status quo.
The rising tide lifts all shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, that one. To raise kind of the profile. Yeah, to raise the profile of the Big East and to where we're seeing 5-6 teams in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I lived it in the Pac-12. We talked about the Pac-12 where arguably there are times coaching in that league where the top 3 all had a real shot at being in the Final Four. One year Oregon did it, and UCLA and Arizona, we were all like 1, 2, and 3 seeds. Oregon got to the Final Four. But we only got 3 teams in or 4. And it's like, how can that happen when your top is so heavy? Well, so much of this is to have parity at the bottom. And whoever finishes at the bottom, and I sure hope we're not that team, the better they are, and how do you determine that? What they do in non-conference play, and then in conference play to be in some ways a team that can win both on the road and at home. So everybody judges NCAA tournament bids by who the top and middle are. Equally important, I think, is to have a better bottom where from top to bottom, you're better than you've ever been. I think this year in the Big East, it'll be the best top to bottom we've been in a long time.
Yeah, I agree. Sean, always good to see you, man. I'm waiting my invite on the Sean Miller podcast.
I'll deliver.
I just got to be before Goodman. That's all I ask.
I'll make sure that happens.
Yeah, all right.